Hector Lopez, present.
Lori Barker, present.
Carlos Gonzalez, present.
José López, present. Unanimous at the moment, Ms. Michaela Corona. Next item on the agenda is prayer. Will you please bow your heads for a moment of silence? Remember your dear ones, the ones that have gone by, the ones that are going through sickness, and you love them. Amen. Well, item number 3, pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before I go any further, if anybody's wearing caps, will you please take them down? Take them off. Thank you. We go to item, for the record, Ms. Orona is now present. We go to item number 4, superintendent celebration service.
Good evening, trustees. Good evening, community, and welcome all. This evening, we have actually 3 different types of celebrations with our students. We have our band students, our choir students, as well as our baseball team representatives. At this point, what I'd like to do is have for our band, do we have a representative from our band? Okay, thank you. At this point, I'd like to have Mr. Papar to come on up for our choir students.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Monero and board members for recognizing our choir students this evening. UIL offers an opportunity for our music students to compete in the UIL Solo and Ensemble contest. It actually starts at the regional level, which for the choir department is held every year at Texas A&M Kingsville. The students have to memorize a solo, sing it in front of a judge, and they have certain criteria they have to meet. Well, we have 2 students this year that sang Class 1 solos, which are the most difficult level. One of them was in French, and one of them was in English. And they both made a 1 at the Kingsville contest, and they advanced to the state contest. And going to state in any activity is really quite an honor. It's an exception to be able to go to state, whether it's in athletics or in any sport or music. And we really are very fortunate that we had 2 students go to state. And that's who we're recognizing this evening. One of them is named Annabelle Martinez. She's a 2019 graduate. And she sang a French solo called Le Charme for her judge. And the judge commented, "Annabelle, this is the first French solo I've heard all day." And we're really proud of her. I'm sorry she was unable to attend the board meeting tonight. But she received the Division II, which is a silver medal at state. So I'd like us to give her a hand, even in her absence. And it's such a wonderful experience because the students grow so much through this. I mean, not only having to learn to sing in another language, but more than that, the presentation skills. I often tell the students, when you go for your first job interview, unless you're going to be a choir director, your first job interview, they're not going to ask you to sing the scale, but they are going to ask you to stand there confidently with a smile on your face, with a handshake, and singing these solos and even being a choir reinforces these life skills. So I'm really proud of Annabelle and for her success. And then we had a second student who also sang a solo. His solo was in English. Stephen, could you come up?
Oh my goodness.
You want to stand there and just pretend you're singing your solo. Stand there and smile. He did such an outstanding job. He did Long Time Ago by American composer Aaron Copland. And Stephen is he was only a freshman. Now he's a sophomore. He was the only freshman to get to go to the contest this year. And think about it, a freshman going to state, his first year doing a solo, and we're really proud of Stephen for his accomplishment. He's an outstanding musician, he can sing, he's a percussionist in the Big Red Band, mariachi also, he can play piano, he's just really very talented. And he was even not feeling well the day of state, and what he would, if I can demonstrate, he said, Mr. Park, can I sit at the piano? We found a practice room, and he was playing through his part. Not just singing it, but he was playing his part. So he's just very talented, so we're really proud of him. Let's give him a hand for a silver medal at 2 at state. Congratulations.
Trustees, at this point, we'd like to have Mr. Vasquez, Mr. Gonzalez, and or Mr. Gonzalez as well. But begin with Mr. Vasquez to represent our baseball team.
Thank you, board. Thank you for all the support you gave us throughout the year. The community, thank you as well. They had some big crowds in those playoff games, and we really appreciate the support. It was a very challenging year this year. We knew with what we lost the year before, very young, very inexperienced. But you know what? They worked really, really hard, and we saw ourselves getting better at the end, and we improved every week. And I really felt that we should have been playing last week still, because you know that team had done so well throughout the year. We got a lot of guys that are missing today, only because it's summer, and we don't see them once school's out. They go on vacation, or they go, some, believe it or not, are playing ball in other states, other cities. But we do have our summer program going, and we have Coach Ray Solis, who took over, Chris Solis, and also Elias Olmeda, who's running that program right now. And they do a lot for our sport as well. I'm going to pass it to Coach Eric, and I'm going to talk about their accolades a little bit.
Like Coach Vasquez said, it was a tough beginning, but the guys fought through whatever we were going through. We got it going in the middle of the year, and then we kind of got hot at the end. When you use baseball terms, we got hot at the end. Let me tell you, it was a great year at the end. Well, throughout the year, but it was really fantastic watching them play at the end of the year, because people were excited to see them. And all of a sudden, the guys had a little swagger to them, and said, like, we knew we were going to win. So, you know, it was a little surprising there at the end, you know, things ended. But like I said, throughout the year, we kept getting better and better. And then so a lot of people have commented on the way we kept on developing. And if anything, I praise the guys for not giving up and just developing and developing and developing. And that's basically what we want from our students, is to develop into, you know, a good baseball player at the end, or a good person, or a good student, or, you know, a good whatever you're doing. And so I applaud the guys. It was a great year. It was a lot of fun. And so hopefully next year we can continue it.
All right. Thanks, Eric. Guys, once again, I want to thank our administration, our principal for all the support, everything we asked for, guys, from every single one of y'all. There's never a no answer. It's always yes, and y'all do it with open arms, and y'all do it with a sincerity. So we really appreciate every single one of y'all and what you do for our kids. Thank you. First of all, I want to announce these guys. Can I take this off? Wish I had eyes behind my head. First of all, I got a senior here, Joe Robert Velasquez. Elias Olmeda, Jerry Gonzalez, Justin Morales, probably don't need this. Chris Solis, Pablo Aguirre, Trey Solis, Pablo Lopez, and Joel Paredes. Of the players, a lot of these guys are coming back. A lot of them are freshmen this year. Got a couple of sophomores and juniors. And guys, you gotta take off your earrings. Guys, take off your earrings. Take off your earrings. No earrings. We're baseball players, not softball players. Okay, now, I'm telling you, school's out, so that's why they're wearing them. Out of these guys, we're missing a couple of seniors. We're missing also a couple of juniors that were key to our program. Our freshman team went like 24-4 this year, guys, and we expect them to fill the void really, really quick. They're really good baseball players that have played a lot of baseball throughout their lives. We saw some really good things out of them, so we're just waiting for them to just step right on in. We're not going to skip a beat, guys, I promise you. We're promising big things next year. All right, big things. So our goal every year is to get to the state tournament, and we hope to be playing it and winning it next year, okay? I know those goals are high. But I'll tell you what, we got good kids and we got great coaches, and those are our expectations every year. Out of this list, guys, I got a couple of guys we made pretty well on our odd district selections. We had a junior of the year, which was Robbie Coronado. He's not with us today. Pitchers, J.C. Coronado, made first team all district. Catcher, right there, Joe Robert Velasquez with the first team catcher selection. And we also played in the Coastal Bend All-Star game last night, which was pretty hot. When I was up there, I was the only one in center field for a while, and then I had to leave. It was crazy. Also, we have in the outfield, Dominic Rodriguez. I know you saw him steal a whole lot of bases this year. He made first team all-district outfield. And then we had a designated hitter who a lot of people probably didn't think, but you know what? He has a lot of capability, and the district saw him do a lot of good things, so he got a first team all-district designated hitter, which is Jacob Espinosa. Second team selection. Pitchers, one guy, man, I hadn't seen this guy in like about 2 years, 3 years. He finally came out and wanted to play baseball. Andrew Fino, if y'all saw him, I put him in the most critical positions that you could possibly be in, and the kid produced every single time. And he made second team all district. At first base, Justin Morales. Made second team all district. Alex Olmeda made second team all district. Well, both of them are coming back next year, so we're very excited for that. And then in the outfield, Saul Vasquez, which is another one who made the all-star team last night and was able to contribute. Honorable mention, we had Chris Alanis and Nick Zanatti. So, guys, without taking any more time, these guys really worked hard. They impressed us with their improvement throughout the year, and that's what we want to do. We always want to start, we're finished better than what we started. And that's what we did this year, so I'm very proud of them for that. So thank you for all your support, and we appreciate the recognition. Thank you.
Guys, we're going to take a picture first, and then I'd like you to go back row with the trustees, okay? Now, trustees, I don't know if we have to stand up and look at these guys are towering us. You make sure to help us out on the angles.
You want us to get on one?
You want to get on the fence? Ready? You're right.
Sorry. Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna do this this year. Guys, I'm gonna tell you, we have girls that really contribute a lot to this program. Come here. Right now. They're great girls, and I tell you, they keep our coaching staff in check, and whenever we need anything, they're there. So I really appreciate them. Belinda, Savannah, thank you so much.
Right there.
I didn't know you had the white legs. That's how strong.
All right, trustees, at this point, I'd like to have Ms. Kelsey come on up and for the Proud Bureau Picker Award.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, and Dr. Moreno. As you can see, we have some students who really go above and beyond, but as you know, we have some employees who are just as exceptional. So as per normal, I'll go ahead and read their nomination form to you so you can hear what was submitted on each one's behalf. Words cannot express the commitment these two have given to our school. This person has been a blessing to have. With the many programs built at our campus, she has been by my side, lending a helping hand along with her counterpart. From the beginning of the year, these two have helped me out so much. From delivering handcrafted pumpkins to Atama Nursing Center, to taking our cardio kids and dribbling nights to Corpus for performances, and even helping take our kids to San Antonio to perform at the Spurs game. Not once, but twice. These two special people have never asked for anything in return. They are dedicated to the students here at Robstown ISD, and I believe that because of their assistance, so much of what our school has accomplished has been because of their willingness to have the same desire to expose our kids to as many positive influences as possible. I am proud to have them on our team. Thank you and congratulations to Jeanette and Joey Rodriguez. Thank you.
We're going to go to item 5, public participation. Is open forum is the policy BD local. You know? Okay, we go to item 6, information on items.
Trustees, I have, we just want to make sure, assuming nothing, I'm sure you saw it on Facebook, but our bulletin board is up celebrating our students. And it's definitely caught quite a bit of traction. And really, the point of that is we have amazing kids. And we have amazing accomplishments. And that's just one way for us on a busy highway to make sure that everybody sees that we're proud of our kids. And it also sets a standard. It sets a standard for those kids. Now, next year's seniors wanting to continue to strive to also be up on the billboard. So it helps narrow a focus and a target and an achievable goal that we all want within that time. If we move forward, were there any? All right, and trustees, we have a little bit of surprise for you. And this is just a preview, okay? This is not the final product, but I wanted to make sure that we can share with you early on. And I'm not gonna give you much detail, but I am gonna ask you to please, turn to the screen.
At UCSD, we serve nearly 3,000 students. The staff is incredible. If you have students from the age of 3 all the way until they're 18 years old, they're going to be taken care of. You walk into the classroom and you see the teachers using innovative techniques to keep their students engaged, and we're incorporating technology into the classroom to ensure that students have a quality education. Students have the opportunity to participate in the 21st century program, and that's when they're participating in STEM activities. So that's science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and they're there engaging with each other in activities that are really gearing them towards what they're going to be learning about when they're in high school. Robstown ISD offers an array of extracurricular activities. Our athletes participate in powerlifting, baseball, track and field. For our musicians, we have an excellent choir program. We have a jazz band. We have a mariachi band. Whatever they're interested in, there's an outlet for them. Robstown ISD has college courses for our students at the high school. It's special to the district because we can offer those college courses to our students, and it's at no cost to the students or their families. They can walk away with 60 credit hours or an associate's degree. The end goal is for students to be college ready or workforce ready. We want families to know when they come to Robstown ISD, they're part of a family, and we will take care of students and do whatever it takes to ensure that their child is successful.
So that's fresh up, can I say off the presses? I don't know what the right term is to say, but that's just, again, there's going to be continued some tweaking to it. That's very rough. It was just presented to us late last week, and they actually made some tweaks maybe 2 hours ago. But we're really excited. Now, this is phase one. Phase one, this is about a 90-second video that we put on our website, put it out for marketing. It's about my choice. It's about Robstown ISD not only being the choice of our students, but it's a choice of our parents to want to send their schools to an excellent school district like ours. Along with that, you're going to have, there's going to be a 30-second segment, and there's going to be one that's about 15 to 20 seconds. That's going to be used quite a bit for social media. So that's how we start getting the word out. Okay, it's my choice. We choose to be here in Robstown ISD because we know that we'll provide an excellent education. So that's a sneak preview. Now, luckily it's not on the camera because we want to be able to surprise all of our teachers during convocation, all of our staff. So we thought we just couldn't wait that long to show it to you. So hopefully it's something that you like, and we'll make some additional tweaks and go from there. The next part of the agenda, we have a financial statement. Ms. Conway. And
good evening, board members. The financials are once again trending well with the budget. As a matter of fact, Dr. Moreno asked me to do a projection to the end of the year so we can kind of figure out what may be added to or unfortunately subtracted from fund balance. Excuse me. Our revenue is right on spot and tracks for the end of the year to be right on the budget. Our expenditures, however, it looks like what I call $750,000 will fall out of the expenditures. What that means is we're going to underspend the expenditure budget, and that $750,000 can go back into fund balance. However, y'all just approved the roofs being done, so I'll do a budget amendment next month for, I believe it was $738,000. So that's going to pretty much keep us flush. Ma'am? Did we approve that? Yes, ma'am. So that will keep our revenue and expenditures at about the same. Any questions on the functions? The second page is just a comparison this year to last year, and we are at about $1.7 million above on our revenue, and our expenditures are about $1.6 million above last year. The third page is still a little concerning to me. If you'll remember last year on our bond funds, which is Fund 511, that's where we pay our principal and interest on our debt, on our bonds. We had to transfer $176,000 from the general fund into the bond fund to make that final payment. And right now, you'll see the second section, we're right at 95.5%. I'm hoping that we'll get up to 100% by the end of the year. Otherwise, we may have to, again, take some money from the general fund and move it into debt service. You can't go back. Once you've moved money into the debt service fund, you can't reimburse the general fund. Any questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Trustees, and the next item, letter D, budget workshop dates for 2019-2020. Trustees, at this point, what I'd like to give you is a target date. And what I am going to do is provide an update to you with some recommended dates that we can meet for some special call meetings to continue work, addressing our budget workshop. But right now, our target date, because it has to be done before the August the 30th or 31st, Nina? 31st is August the 26th. So starting backwards, going from August the 26th on forward, 26 has to be the date that we'll look at our tax rate as well as the final budget. Now, for the July date, because we're out on vacation on July the 8th, that recommendation for that particular meeting is July the 22nd. Okay, so July 22nd would be the regular, and then August 26th would be the special call for the tax rate and budget. And there are about 3 or 4 other ones that I'll show you. I'll send it to you electronically, then have some discussions with you, so we can finalize some additional dates that we need to meet for budget preparation. And, excuse me. And then also, June the 27th is an important date as well. June the 27th. At that point, we'll be looking at stipends, pay scale, days, our salary schedules that we'll be proposing at that time for your review.
Will that be a special meeting?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
5 or 6?
That we can discuss. But right now, let's do for 5 o'clock. That's been our standard time. Okay, so June 27th, special call, 5 o'clock. July the 22nd, that's a regular board meeting. And then August the 26th is a special call to finalize our budget at that point for adoption. Any questions? The next item is also the rescheduling of July 8th, which I just mentioned as far as the rescheduling July 8th to July the 22nd. And then summer projects. So trustees, at this point, have Mr. Gonzalez here to answer some questions. All of you have a green folder. In that green folder, what I did is in talking to Mr. Gonzalez and some various team members, we looked at the different priorities of work that needs to get done this summer. Like Ms. Conway did state that last month we did approve for the repair of our roofs. Now, that particular one, and please correct me if I'm wrong, we had seal that need a repair, or fees that need a repair. The high school that is also receiving some repairs, and I'm missing one, and Hattie Martin as well. That's what the approval for that. Now, the last meeting I remember making and reiterating, it's not a guarantee, and I'll say it right now, it's not a guarantee yet, but FEMA is working with us, and we're hoping that they are going to be able to provide some funding for that, which in our minds is almost like a reimbursement of what we're going to be investing into our roofs. We don't know how much yet, but we know that they are diligently working with us to help us with an offset. So if you look at this particular document, I set it up in 3 priorities. Now, if you notice priority 2, priority 3, pending board input. I need your input to look at. Now, trustees, also, these numbers here are within a range. So where we had some bids, I took a range and I might have, like, for example, number 1, it says $50,000 project. That one I believe was about 47, but I gave it just a little bit of cushion just to be in the area. So what you'll notice again, number one is one of our biggest priorities. That's a non-negotiable as far as getting our instrumentation lab going for our kids in the fall. We start to receive equipment for the instrumentation grant in August. So the preparation, and that's why I refer to it as a new build. It's an existing classroom in the CTE building at the high school, but I'm considering a new build because that whole classroom is going to be refurbished completely, painted, new tile, new ceiling tiles, electrical, all to format to be ready for the instrumentation lab, which again, we're super excited on. And I want to take just another little note. I believe it's on Wednesday that we're actually doing our kickoff and celebration with the community for the public to know how proud we are of that particular program coming to our school district. So that one, the lab itself is roughly about $50,000. Now, number two, I want to make clear on this one. CTE building updates. So again, the main part of the high school received quite a bit of updates, but the CTE building itself is still represents, I think, 1960 or 1970. And we want to give it just a little bit of a makeover. So again, I asked Leroy to get a bid on that. Roughly, again, to modernize that particular hallway a little bit with tiles, some painting, again, new lighting, new ceiling tiles, things like that. But that whole building, the foyer, that whole area, roughly runs about $130,000. Combination though, it's about 180 with both project, the lab as well as the building itself. Now, number two is not the highest priority. Once you start looking at the numbers, that's your decision. Number one though, we need that lab done for sure. So two, if you want to even put pending, I did put pending on that timeline. That one is something we want to look at. Now, number three, Salazar parking lot. I wrote on their new construction. The reason I said new construction was because if you all go to Salazar, really the parking lot is just dust. I mean, it's just dirt. Whatever existed there as far as any type of concrete or asphalt, that's gone. So that's why I refer to it as new construction. Now, there's two phases that I asked you what to look at on that. The total rough estimate comes out to about $175,000. You see that $90,000 and that $85,000? So what I asked Leroy to do, I said, okay, so this portion, the main portion where all the parents get off, all the employees, that particular area, how much would that section be? And then look at the rest of the section. That's why it's broken up in that way. So we could do half of it at $85,000 and the other half would be roughly $90,000 for a total $175,000. That one is, I think it's a big thing to look at for at least the main part, which is roughly the $85,000. Ortiz parking lot. That one again, I believe, had some repairs done about 2 or 3 years ago. That one again, we cannot continue to operate. That one we do need to make sure we get some repairs done at Ortiz, because on the main exit on the one side and main exit on the second side as well, there's two pretty big, I'll refer to them as craters. They're big and they're having to constantly put base in them to try to, but they're going to need more of that, of the proper, what's the word I'm looking for on that one, Leroy? What is it?
Cold mixing.
Okay.
We got to saw cut it out, take it out, put foundation mix in there, tamp it back in there, roll it in there, and then cold mix about 3 inches of cold mix in there.
So that's a ballpark based on some previous bids that we had. So again, trustees, if that's one that we start to look at, that's just a ballpark that we look at within that. Ortiz chiller, that's going to be a big one though. That one is one that we have to get done. We're down to one chiller. Now we can continue operating, but the thing is it overworks itself and it's not going to last us as long. So that one's a big one that we need to look at. So
chillers do we have there?
2, I believe.
Every campus has 2.
We have never replaced that one since I've been on here? Or
No,
was it
ma'am.
junior high that we did?
No, we haven't replaced that one, ma'am.
We haven't replaced any chillers
No.
district-wide?
District, motors, compressors, we have. I brought,
That's been giving us a lot of problem, right, and then it broke down.
yes, I brought that one up about a year ago, and I brought you information on it, and then we went out for prizes, and then the prizes bids, and we got a pretty good amount of bids in there, so that needs to be done. And it's over. It hasn't been working over a year. It needs to get done, and that other chiller is getting overworked. If that one goes down, we're not going to have classes at all.
So number 6, Number 6 is the ag, just want to give you an update on the ag show barn. And here, if you notice what I listed, these are some general ones that actually, as of I think today, all of our windows, because some of those were still shut just because they're rusted out. But it looks like y'all are able to get all of those opened up
Put a
for
torch on
ventilation.
it, put a torch on it, we'll open them up, sir.
Okay, good. So that's, but that was at no cost because that was done internally. Iron gates for roll-up garage doors. So assuming nothing, trustees, these are basically like a roll-up garage door. It's got 2 of them for ventilation purposes. What our team is committed to, they can weld and create the doors for those. And basically what we want is to have the door open, and then you'll have a steel gate or something to close it out. That way ventilation is always running in and out, but no one can come in or out within that. That would be done internally. PVC pipes for hydration. This is for all the animals because what we're doing is we will have pins within the show barn itself, and that way they have a proper hydration. So we'll be looking at PVC piping from the outside coming in, and then we'll look at the actual design with Ms. Hagney to be able to, so that all the animals can have their water source at that point. Livestock pens. So livestock pens, we narrowed it down to 2 different types. Ms. Hagney made the last recommendation, and it's roughly going to run about $15,000 so that we can have our livestock within it. I think right now we're very proud. I think we have 1 heifer.
Yes,
And are we getting another one this year or?
at the end of the summer.
Okay, so we'll have, I think, maybe 2 heifers possibly, and of course some sheep and goats. And you want to mention a little something?
We're, sorry, I work. It's rough estimates right now. We won't really know until school starts, how many numbers we'll have, but we're looking at least 20 to 25 hogs, and about 10 lamb and goats, along with 3 more cattle. So,
Good.
So are they gonna be inside the facility or on the outside?
Right now, we're gonna prepare for the inside. Now, we may have to go in and out on certain ones, but right now, we're trying to prepare so we can use it properly. The fans have really helped out tremendously, trustees, so thank you so much for that. I mean, it really gets circulation going. So now, once we get those doors open, now that the windows are open, it'll start to have more of a flow than what we want.
will each bin have electrical too?
There's outlets there every 15 feet away, so they're gonna have to run, we're gonna have to run cords.
There's lighting and there's fans.
There's plenty of lighting, there's plenty of air circulation. The only thing is, we're just gonna run spigots to every pen, so each individual animal will have its own source of water. Yes, they'll be ready.
All right. And then what you notice there, when I put additional supplies, Ms. Hagney did give us a list of additional supplies that you need. These are general supplies that are needed to function within it, and that one's roughly about $8,800.
The only comment I want to make, what I want is the outside pen, is that ever gonna, was it cleaned up?
We
When
took,
you drive by it, it looks pretty bad.
all the tarps have been taken off of today, nobody collected them, so we folded them up, and we'll give them about a week. If nobody picks them up, we'll take them in storage. And if they wanna pick them up later, they can, but we took, it was an eyesore.
Yeah.
All the gentlemen were out there, we threw a lot of stuff there that wasn't usable, so.
Like did they pressure wash at the inside, I mean,
The inside of the building was pressure washed, yes, ma'am.
the outside pins.
No, those are sand, those are sand.
No, and those are still gonna have some more cleanup. So I know that, and I think, these are students that we hired for the summer too. They help us out with
They do a
that
good
too.
job. Yes, we're gonna be out there tomorrow again.
I know.
We're gonna be out there
You don't
tomorrow.
want them to use the same litter from last year.
No, we get new, sand every year, and, we help them out, take it out and help them out, and the kids usually clean them out throughout the day when they have their animals there.
What about painting the corral? Is that something we can do or?
We can do that as well, man.
I think it's gonna need
It
a
can be
fresh.
done, it can be done, yes.
Have something red maybe?
It's a red accent.
Yes, ma'am, make it look like a barn, yes.
Yeah.
I like that.
I have a question on the restrooms. Is there a problem with the restrooms? Are they bad? Do they work?
They're working, all of them are working properly right now. We're doing some painting and some, ceiling repairs. The roof has got some holes in there, and, we're fixing those just currently right now, so.
Okay, new toilets and all the stuff
Toilets
inside?
are good, toilets are good, those are been fixed, all the gaskets have been fixed, even though they haven't been used in over maybe 10, 15 years. Johnny went in there, and I did let Dr. Moreno know today that there's a low pressure on the city side, so the Oasis water district went out there today, and they're gonna see if we can get a booster pump going in there, help flush anything that needs to be flushed out. So, and they'll let us know as soon as possible, so.
So the roof is gonna be fixed?
No, just, no. It's a corrugated metal on the bathrooms only, on the restrooms only. And when they drilled it in, they drilled the corrugated roof, there's a gasket that goes through the screws. Well, they didn't seal it, so the water seeps into there, and underneath is sheetrock, so you put water in sheetrock.
Yeah.
So we decided to take off the sheetrock, and then tomorrow we're gonna seal, silicone the screws up
Can we visit
top
the
of it.
barn?
Sure.
See it for ourselves?
Sure.
When, anytime?
Just let me know.
We're gonna be there tomorrow, we're gonna be there tomorrow at 8 o'clock, probably till about
So-
11.
So when is the deadline that the kids bring their animals? Is there a deadline?
No,
No.
they'll bring them anytime.
When they're ready?
We usually have everything in by middle of September.
Middle of September. But they were coming in on, like, the summer, they come in and then.
End of summer, early school year.
Yes, ma'am, just let me know, we'll be more than happy to get it over. Salazar, Library trustees, this is 90% sure, 90% sure, I leave it 10% because we're still in some planning phases. But we'd like to look at moving our DAP from Hattie Martin and actually taking it to Salazar. The library there is a really nice setup for that, it's real wide, we can have some division within that. But what you do with that at Salazar is that you have DAP separate from the campuses themselves. That's the way the model is supposed to be set up. So at that point, we'd be able to house any students for middle school as well as for high school within that area. So with that, and then you notice I put 0 because that's just going to be internal as far as just preparation and cleanup that we need to do for that. Buses, this is for the old M&O. This is where currently the garages for all of our bus repairs. That particular building, well, actually, one of the things that we look at, because that whole area needs a lot of work. One of the things that you look at the old M&O, you'll notice some old buses there. We want to make sure that we get them out for auction this summer to get rid of that. Any white fleet that we no longer need, get rid of that as well. But that would be a gain, some monetary gain for our school district on that, auction them off. There is, and this has been discussed at different points throughout the year. Now, on Picker Lane in the back, you notice there's a big old mound of dirt, and at times it's just hard to maintain it because it's high. That will be taken down this summer as well. Now, it's taken down, and they can actually haul it off, which we won't make much money, but it's something to come back to us. It's big and it's not being maintained throughout the year, and the usage is not. So it ends up being more of an eyesore than anything.
So would the coaches ask for their input, or you just make that decision?
Actually, I talked to Coach Poodle about it a few months ago. I said, look, if it's gonna be used, let's find evidence that it can be used. If it's not, then let's just do away with it at this point. So there really wasn't any further concern on that.
So we agreed to.
Yeah, we spoke about. And roughly about 3 or 4 months ago that we talked about it. The high school, this is one of those non-negotiables, number 10, high school cafe gas line that needs to be set up for kitchen enhancement. That's about $23,580. And then roofs, which we talked about, we approved the last board meeting at $738,000. Now again, I want to reiterate, there's still a pretty good chance that FEMA is working really to try to get us some additional funding, which would be an offset to that 738. Now, all these others, these are some areas where I need your direction, trustees, because again, then we can reprioritize some of these areas, but that's why I needed your input. The old M&O facilities, now, let's go again, that's back where the garage, where we have our bus repairs. That's roughly $65,000, and that was a higher bid. And that would be to demolish the whole facility, and then also take away Now, that does not include any type of concrete, but that's mainly the main garage and then being able to knock down the rest of that building. So roughly about 65,000. The old M&O grounds, that needs to be cleaned up. It's an eyesore for our community. So our team at that point would clean up after we get rid of the buses. Let's just say, regardless of buses are gonna go. The cleanup this summer as well for the whole property itself. But if this is something that you wanna prioritize, trustees, then that's something we can look at as far as budgeting and planning out to demolish that facility.
What did you say about the garage part?
The garage would be part of that.
Demolish?
Yes, the whole thing. Because the way it is, it's attached actually to the existing building, although it's a metal garage. Now, one of the things I was talking to Leroy is, okay, so once that's gone, then where do we put our mechanic? Our mechanic would hopefully at that point, we do have a what do we call it?
Canopy at the side of, behind Salazar building, the canopy.
It's got a 3 bays.
Yeah, 4 bays.
4 bays, but that would need to seal it up though. We'd need to close it in order to be effective, but, you know, we could replace there in that particular area. Hattie Martin parking lot, again, that's something that I put as pending because we noticed that there's some repairs, some water that's retained when it rains out here in the front, so those are just areas that we look at, but I don't have any quotes on that.
I have a question
Yes,
with regard to that. Didn't we just did it not long ago, right, 2 years ago or so?
We
Wasn't
put a
that,
seal coat on there, man.
did we do it or did we
We
hire
hired,
it
we
out?
contracted
So
this.
isn't that something that they could repair without charging? Because they wasn't done right?
No, we brought forward a seal coat, but we didn't do any fixing, no patching and that way, it was just a seal coat to protect the life of what's had done, because we did that parking lot when we did Robin Frisco and the other parking lot, so we wanted to prolong the life on it.
So it wasn't fixed, it was just sealed?
It was sealed, this man.
It's basically almost like a facelift. It just seals it again, it comes out richer and darker again, but it just protects
It
it.
makes it look good, but it's not really.
It's
taking
protected.
care of the
It's
problem.
correct, and over the years, the parking lots, they expand with the wet changes of the weather, and if you don't protect it, water's gonna go in there, and then you're gonna have a bigger mess.
But at that time that we sealed it, why didn't we fix that little puddle area?
We did, man, and I'm gonna get those numbers for, Dr. Moreno, so we can move on.
Now, the next one is, electronic entry systems at high school. That, trustees, I'm putting it down just as something for us to think about in the future, but we will have a plan for this summer. And of course, with input from the high school, principal, as far as administration as a whole. But really, as far as our entrances and exits, one thing that we can't, continue to have is our gates, open and closed the way that they are right now, or remaining open when they should be closed. So we want to come up with a plan specifically to be able to share out with you, and at that point, possibly suggestion of some type of electronic systems or something to help us out with it. But the main thing is checking our entrances and exits and the facility going in and out of our areas.
Probably a lot of options out there for people, like there's like those little devices, they're called fobs, I think. It's magnetic, you just touch it and it opens it, and people, I think it keeps track of who's going in and out.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of choices out there. Definitely quite.
I see those gates open because I pass by all the time during the weekends.
The other part, now this goes back to demolition, Salazar building, the old wings, there's 6 different wings here. We've walked those wings multiple times. Really, they do need to go. They really, some areas have just old material stuff. It's just not good for kids or anybody walking around in the community. It also is an eyesore for our community there. So that's something that to look at. Again, the approximate range that we've got on that one is about $250,000 to be able to demolish the 6 wings that we have there outside. Priority 3, practice area for marching band. I think at one point it was discussed. I know the marching band right now practices up in the front. I know at one point it was discussed, it could be closer to the band hall in the back, but that would take to get some resurfacing of the back area, some extension, but that's something we have to get some additional bids on to move that completely to the back. Stadium parking lot, again, there's quite a few potholes, again, that we need to repair. Those are things that, again, we'll be gathering some quotes on. And then this is something additional that I threw in there, because at some point early on, it was discussed as far as once we had the high school that was finished, possibility of a marquee upgrade or something that had a bigger screen. If you notice, trustees, in your green folder, I did include this. Richard helped us out from technology to gather these quotes. But this would have a screen, an actual visual where you can actually be, it's almost like a TV. You can advertise or whatever we want at that point. But again, you would have that as one option, is a red one. And then of course on the other one, you notice that one's a different color with black. It's just, they both, I think, are the same size, Richard?
Yes.
Are they the same size?
Yes, there's
Okay.
two options, and you can change the screen size.
Okay.
The height and the width are all the same.
And you'll notice one is roughly $57,000 and the other one is about $68,000. But those are some future discussions and conversations as we continue to budget and you look at different priorities. Now, there's a lot of little things going on during the summer, of course, with our facilities. This is the time to get them done and ready. But these are some big items to look at. So trustees, this is just information only. There is an item where if you want to give me some direction, then we can, you can vote at that point to give me some direction on specific ones. But again, let me reiterate, number 1 is a priority. Number 5 is a priority. I consider the at least get the parking lot, at least half of it done and set aside, a priority as well, but that's just a recommendation that I have for you. We'll continue with the ag barn. Those are things that we just continue to, with what we have right now. As far as, but additional funding is needed for that, of course. The gas lines, of course, is something that we have to get done, number 10. We already looked at the roofs. And then if you want to start to give me some direction as far as prioritizing some demolition, then let's get some tighter numbers. And but if you'd like even, I would recommend probably the biggest one I would prioritize, my recommendation would be the garage where the mechanic is. That one really is a nice one for the group. Yes.
I don't want to know on the police parking lot, wasn't there an issue with the drain also?
There.
Was it contact the city?
Yeah, I'll get this final information. I will contact the city just to get some information, see how, hopefully they can help us out too. Part of it, what the problem there is the road is a little bit higher than the parking lot. So the water naturally, it starts to collect in that area and there's no way of it draining out. So hopefully working together, we'll be able to find a solution to that.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
On number 10, that's the kitchen enhancement. Is that a requirement or a recommendation from the new kitchen customer?
You have the-
That cafe?
No, that I don't know for 100%, so I can't answer that completely. I just don't know if it's something to make it better or.
I don't have your, what is number 10 say?
Oh, I'm sorry. The high school?
The gas line, no, that's a must, it has to be done. It has to be done by the end of the month. Yes, sir, yes, ma'am, it's a 6-inch line, and it runs over from the 800 wing to the cafeteria, and Inspector Mr. Velasco's already gave me so many extensions. We don't need the capacity, we used to have homemaking, we did away with 6 wings before the construction, and we had a huge 6-inch line going over. Now, the only gas that we need is in the cafeteria, so we're reducing it to a 3-inch line, and we're going under the building and up the cafeteria. That's the only source of gas that we need. The other source of gas that we need, we're coming down Fickerland through the science wing. Those are it. Our new building doesn't get any gas at all, just the cafeteria and our new science wing. So we don't need it. They don't want it. We're gonna run one from the science building across on top. We're gonna run one, a 2-inch line.
And this quote, we already have quotes for this.
Yes.
We already referred to you, just go out and.
No, we have the quotes, we've had them already. We turned them in. Yes, that's gotta be done. That's gotta be done for the cafeteria for the district. Texas Railroad Commission gave us to the end of the month to take care of that. In other words, that's the original line that's been there since the very beginning of high school. It's leaking, it's worn out, it's cast iron, it leaks. So Railroad Commission gave me an extension to June, the end of June. And that's where Railroad Commission is coming to the city in South Texas. They're testing everybody's gas line. So,
You were waiting because the students were there?
yes, ma'am. It's dangerous. Yeah. Now I gotta get the gas department, they're gonna be here, they gotta shut it off and check their line first, well, I believe it's Shoreline. doing that. Yes, yes. And it has to be done by the end of June. It has to be done by the end of June. Railroad Commission already gave me an extension on that one.
So that amount is the 23?
23, that's, yes. The other ones were at 34 and 37.
And these are only summer projects, correct?
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
this in comparison to the 3 and 5 year plan?
Some will be, but there's more on the 3 to 5 year plan.
One other thing, I'm sorry,
I
man.
wanted to talk to you about this, but,
Sure.
there's a lot of bleachers at the baseball field that no one uses. Why can't we use some of those at the softball field? You know, I'm gonna be real honest, I'm a softball parent, everybody knows that, but it's very disturbing to see our field and y'all's field. And it bothers me, because we've got 9 players on the field, just like baseball does. We got a pitcher, we got a catcher, we got fans, you know, it really hurts my heart. So I think we need to really focus on putting some money in the softball field this year. So I don't
Some
know,
additional bleachers.
Can we put some of the bleachers over there?
We
Do
can look
you know
at
which ones I'm talking about, the ones at the
Yes,
very
ma'am.
end?
Any information, through Dr. Moreno will follow
You know,
through.
with your maintenance, so I wanna know, is it possible?
It's possible, man. Anything's possible, as long as
Do you
we.
think, Dr. Guerrero?
Yes, ma'am. We'll definitely talk about it.
Bertha, you, the stands get full, like,
But yeah,
like fans.
But when you say the fields, are you talking about the actual
The
fields?
fields,
or you're talking-
I'm sorry, the bleachers?
Okay.
You know how there's some on the.
Right, right. We need more bleachers.
Behind the dugouts.
We do, right.
Yes, now those are wooden bleachers, remember, they're gonna have to be bolted down and transported. Now, the ones you have there in the facility are gonna have to be removed. Or we're gonna have to add more foundation to add those bleachers in there, because one side of the bleachers that are there are more than what you have right now. So some are gonna have to be
In my
removed.
opinion, I think that we should do it, because I remember going to the baseball field and it was just as small as a softball field, look at it now. So how did we get there? We invested money into that, I think that our growth program is just important.
You're absolutely right, man, yeah, you're absolutely right.
I'll take a walk with them.
Or just
See
even
what
looking
options.
at buying other ones.
Okay, well, it would probably probably cost effective to buy more than, yeah.
I'll look at both of them, I'll look at both sides. Now, if we add more features there, what are we gonna do with the ones that are already there?
Well, we'll talk about it. I mean, the thing is to add more, because, I mean, that is, it gets pretty crowded.
Yeah.
So,
And
We
don't
can
get
do
me
it.
wrong, we are real appreciative of the work that's been done. We just got the press box, we never had one. It was just a person on a chair with the mic. That was the press box. So that's amazing, but we could just use so much more. Sir, you've been there. It really
It
is
gets
an
tight.
embarrassment. It is.
You do it.
We have visitors and our
You do.
concessions sometimes closed and
That's another thing, I think the concession, we can move
I would love to have one
the
there.
concession inside the food.
Yes,
That's
I
something
agree with all that.
Discussed.
Just give me the okay and I'll rock and roll. Give me the okay. Anything is possible, anything is possible. The good thing about it, softball is a spring schedule.
Okay.
This is spring. You what?
Okay.
No, it's a spring sport, so we can do that, you know, I think they need to do it.
Give us the numbers and
Yes,
then,
ma'am, definitely, thank you.
I had to share that with him, so this is new to him also, but it's just not right, it's not fair.
What's
And
the program?
we need to do something, it's just, it really is bad.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Any other questions? Thank you very much.
all right, trustees, on the next one, discussion of property located on 401 Ligustrum Street. And after that, you notice I put down Boys and Girls Club facility. So now, the former Boys and Girls Club facility. So I had a conversation, I want to say about 3 weeks ago, a month ago, when a representative from the Boys Club organization came. They let me know that the organization of the club itself would not continue to exist because of low numbers. A lot of it's because we have our 21st century here, and most of the kids stay after school there. And so it doesn't get the usage out of, like I think at one point it was planned. Now, that doesn't mean that it's forever. You know, it may be that at one point, we may need more access, and the organization may want to come and reopen at that point. But that's just, that's an update that I wanted to give you all. Also, in looking at that, I'm doing some research because I just want to make sure, my understanding is that at some point the school district contributed to the organization itself, so I'm just looking and doing some research on that, to see if there's anything else that we need to do as far as the contribution that was contributed. Now, I did find that back in 2003, I think there were 2 years, one, and I went back and looked at board minutes. 1 year, the district committed to giving about $50,000 towards the facility itself, and then the next year again was another $50,000, so it's $100,000 total that was contributed. Now, what I'm trying to do is clarify what did that $100,000 contribute to, and if there's anything that's still lingering from that, from the organization. So I just put that out there just to let you know that I'm researching that information.
So go to item 7, that's a consent agenda item. Next item on the approval of minutes and approval of budget amendments. Do I have a motion? Recommendation, sir.
Approval.
Okay. The recommendation was that we approve the minutes and the budget amendments. Do I have a motion?
Go ahead, I'm just gonna go through the budget amendments real quick.
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, on page 59, we talked about this last month. We signed a contract with Pope Consulting to appeal our property values back in 2015. They did, and that generated about $270,000 of additional state funding for the 16-17 school year, so that funding will come in this year. Again, it cost us about $13,500 to generate $270,000. Pretty good deal. Page 60 is just our summer feeding program. We never budget this until the summer, so this is a new fund in our financials. We anticipate about $78,800 of federal revenue coming in for the summer feeding, and then that's how we will expend the funds. Page 61 is the fourth train on the Chapter 313 agreement. They paid us $50,000. We put that in revenue, and we have to hold those funds for the attorney and Walsh Anderson and Mo Casey. So basically, it's in and out. Page 62 is just some movement of funds within the functions. Again, it's year-end closeout, so they're just covering some negative balances. At 63 is several teachers are going to the service center. Their contracts are already over, so we're going to pay some teachers to go to the service center, their extra duty pay.
Any type of district initiative, anything that's gonna be district-wide, something that we're pushing, those are some things we're looking at for paying our teachers.
And then page 64 is an amendment, just moving some instructional supplies for the high school to buy a laptop for one of the assistant principals and for some travel over the summer to Texas Association of Secondary Principals. School principals, secondary school principals. And that's it, unless y'all have any questions.
If there is no other questions, I do have a motion that we approve the minutes of the budget amendments. Do I have a motion? Mr. Lopez, your second. Second by Ms. Roldan. Any questions?
Yes. On page 19, there's an admin building for HCAV units. Is that for the building?
Yes. Yes, I believe that was the final repairs that we just had.
Yes, sir.
And what do we do? A new unit?
We get new units outside and inside in here. In the business office, we've got 2 units, those are the original units that were here from the beginning of this building. So they were over 22 years old. So it needed to be done. I think a lot of you guys were sweating for a while because it wasn't working. It was and besides that, Freon that was here before, they're doing away with it. So actually, it was a dinosaur. It was a dinosaur. It had to be done. It had to be done. We put so many Band-Aids over Band-Aids.
And then page 27, that labor fee for
I'm not sure. Nina, do you know what that is specifically on page 27?
It's the fee that we pay Airmark, they pay, our director, and we reimburse them, they bill us monthly.
And when is this gonna be over?
We'll probably make an August payment for, we may have one more payment, because they're done July 1, but we'll have to, we'll have to make that last June, July payment. And then the new guys come in July 1.
Thank you.
Anything else? If none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? None. We go item 8. The ordinance, discuss and take possible action of authorizing the superintendent to hire teachers during the month of June, July, and August 2019. Sure.
Trustees, at this point, I'm asking for your permission and approval to allow me to hire teachers, because then, of course, all those are, or any type of position that's within the relative realm of a teacher that has a contract. That's during the months of June, July, and extending to August. And the reason I'm asking that is because of sometimes we're not going to be able to meet, and I don't want to let the good ones go and, fit in the board meeting. So what I'm asking is for your authority at that point, which is pretty common during the summer months to authorize for me to continue hiring at that point. It doesn't include administrators unless that's something I'll authorize, but definitely at the teacher level, that type of contract.
You all come in with a letter, right? So we still has to be approved by the board, the actual contract.
Yes, that'll allow me to get them hired and get them ready to go with us at the next board meeting. I'll bring it at that point. Are there any other positions I need to stay out? It's within that realm as far as the teacher type of contract.
And your recommendations are?
To allow me, give me authority to hire for June, July, and August.
There's recommendation from staff to authorize the superintendent to hire teachers during the month of June, July, and August. Do I have a motion? Moved by Mr. Lopez, there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Warren. Any questions? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, unanimous. We go to item 9. Business and support, sir. 8.
Trustees, at this point, what I'm asking you to discuss and consider the renewal of a one-year contract with, your contract with the following: fire extinguishers, this is AC Fire Equipment Company, and pest control, A's Pest Control. Leroy, is there anything else?
No, sir.
Is that, next item, we have, that's the next item will be recommended.
It should be.
Consider, so it's still okay.
So I'm requesting your consideration to renew both these items, the fire extinguisher, AC Fire Equipment Company, and pest control, A's Pest.
The recommendation of staff that we consider renewal of the one-year contract of the following items: fire extinguishers, ANC Fire Equipment Company, pest control, Ace Pest Control. Is that it? Moved by Ms. Aurora, is there a second? Second by Ms. Roldan. Are there any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Unanimous. Go to B.
The next one, trustees, is discuss and consider special education annual renewal of the following contracts: Accelerated Contract Therapy Services, Dubious Psychological Clinic. Number 3 is Tracy L. Jordan, who's a psychologist.
Yes.
And Ms. Kay, you might want to come up. And then Irma M. Garza. And what is Irma M. Garza? Because trustees, you see that MSB? MSB is actually a separate number. That should be number 5.
Yes. So Irma M. Garza is our orientation and mobility. She works with our students, our visually impaired students. And then MSB is our multi-state billing. That's who we work with those SHARs, okay, Medicaid. And then Helping Hands Pediatric Rehabilitation is our occupational therapy. They come in and work with our students that need assistance with occupational therapy. And I forgot to say good evening, Mr. Lopez, Board President, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Moreno. Any questions? Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
This Eva M. Garza, this Eva M. Garza, is she a contractor?
Yes.
So why can't we just hire somebody permanent and pay them like an employee instead of, because these rates are high.
So we are actually in discussion on that. So not necessarily for her just yet, unless Ms. Kay gives the direction, but like the Helping Hands, and correct me if I'm wrong, Helping Hands occupational therapist?
Yes, and then also the accelerated contract therapy is the physical therapy.
So those are areas it is very common, man, because sometimes you spend a certain amount where you can hire actually somebody in-house for that same.
She's
And
been
so-
on here. I mean, in like a consultant or contract is temporary.
Can we, have a recommendation on this and then we have questions, please? Sir, urgent recommendation.
Recommendation, trustees, is to consider special education annual renewal of the following contracts.
There's recommendation from staff to consider the special education annual renewal of the following contract that was mentioned to us. Is there any questions?
You need a motion.
Is there,
I move.
moved by Ms. Odena, is there a second? Second by Mr. Lopez. Any questions?
So in my opinion, consultants or contractors, that's temporary. But I mean, we pay her too much money in my opinion. I'm not saying she's not worth it. I'm just saying it's not fair to the people who work with these kids alongside of her.
I think that when we get to some of these where we feel that definitely it would make more sense, I'm in agreement. So we will review the different services, and if there is something, the type of position that we don't have internally, I would agree that those are some areas that we should look at.
And I think that this is not the only one. I think there's several district wide that we do this for. That we give them high consultant fees and. I think they got
It's a matter of kind of looking at what other districts are doing too, and then looking at I mean, they have to have high experience, and they're probably bonded, and, you know, there's a lot more involved than
It's not one, it's not required for this. For consultants. It's just a teacher who just retires, somebody can, like, this kid can retire and then she continues and learn again as a consultant.
Well, and just to answer your question on the orientation and mobility, they are very hard to come by. It's a little different than like the physical therapy and the occupational therapy. That's more common, but the orientation and mobility is something that's probably why the rates are so high, because they are hard to come by. And in visiting with other districts, they also use contract services, O&M is what they call them, because they have the same, challenges as far as, I don't know of a district in our area that actually has an O&M person actually on staff. But, certainly something that I could, look into and then visit with Dr. Moreno about.
But how are you going to be?
And then, of course,
It's a better way to go, Dr. Please continue. I'm just curious because I don't know.
She goes back on an 8 to 5 basis.
I'm sorry?
How many times does she come in?
Well, it depends on the student's needs, and it's on an individual basis, that's kind of how it's done.
She's here all day?
No, she just comes in if she just needs to, if a student needs to be seen for 30 minutes, twice a week, then she just comes in for that 30 minutes.
Contracts with other districts as well.
Yeah.
When she comes in for 30 minutes, she pay for 30 minutes, or she pay travel time and like half a day?
She's just paid for that time that she spent with the student, whatever her rate is with that student, that particular student.
No travel time.
Is there a law?
Travel time is not involved in her contract.
Is there a law that's turned in, how many?
She,
time and time out?
She has, I'd have to look, I'm sorry, I don't want to say yes, I need to look on hers, how we have it. On hers. Oh, she already has it rolled into hers. She used to pay mileage, but we don't pay mileage anymore for her.
Because mileage will no longer be a separate fee.
Right, we used to pay mileage separate on her, but we no longer pay mileage separately.
That's why it's like. So
Right, it's already included in her, yes, correct.
Is that federal funding? How she paid or their?
Because we charge, we want to pay her at a local, because we get charged reimbursement at
Right.
about 25%.
Right.
I just wanted to know, and I really want to know what would be more beneficial for us.
Well,
You
actually-
decide whatever you feel is best.
It's not uncommon, for those positions that you can find, it's not uncommon that school districts would hire an internal That's, it's not far-fetched to look at it that way.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Unanimous? You will item C, sir?
Trustees, on item C, discuss and take possible action on investment brokers and dealers to engage in investment transactions with the school district. Ms. Conway will come on.
Excuse me. You'll see this every year. It's required annually. It's CDA legal, which is basically a small version of the Government Code 2256, which is the Public Funds Investment Act. The board is required to authorize any broker dealer. A broker dealer is, if I want to buy a $2 million piece of agency, I can't just get it. I have to call a broker dealer, find some good ones that can give me good rates. So I've listed the ones that I'm familiar with. The last one is First Public Lone Star. That's the only one that we are currently in. Right now, we have cash in the bank and we have cash in this public fund. It's a pool. So I'm adding Cutwater Asset Management, which is Texas class. That's another pool, and it's a little bit higher return on your money than Lone Star. So that'll help us diversify a little bit. I'm also adding FTN Financial. That's where I can buy some agencies and commercial paper. And then, of course, we currently have Wells Fargo as our bank. They have a security brokerage house in Wells Fargo, but we have to list them for this purposes. I added Wells Fargo Securities LLC. Any questions?
Yes.
Broker dealers.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, let me, your recommendation, sir?
At this point, trustees, trustees, are there questions or just a clarity?
I just want to know who are we working with right now?
We really don't. We don't buy any securities at all for the district. We have cash in Wells Fargo, just like your bank account, and we have this one pool, which is First Public Lone Star. It's an investment pool of a bunch of school districts. So I'm adding another pool that has a higher interest rating, mainly because they have more commercial paper in that. So we'll get a little bit more money than Lone Star. Because all of our money is at Lone Star, we're not diversified. And we're required to be diversified based on the Public School Investment Act, which means if in the unforeseen instance that Lone Star went under, all of our money is in Lone Star. We don't want that. We want to move our money around so if something does happen at a bank or at one of the pools, at least we wouldn't have all our eggs in one basket.
Trustees, I'm going to step on them and I think there may be some confusion on this. I just want to make sure in the case I'm wrong, please let me know. But this has nothing to do with our financial advisors, correct?
No, this is cash. Instead of keeping cash in the bank, we want to buy some securities.
Where did you have a look this language? What is this for?
Oh, that's just for your review for, upcoming dates we'll have. Those are options for y'all to look at. But we told the board we'd have these 4 options, just so you can look at future financial advisors on that. So it's nothing that we're going to say with that. So, yeah, that's just for information for you to review. So, yes, trustees, so my recommendation is take possible action on investment brokers and dealers to engage in investment transactions with the school district.
Investment brokers and dealers to engage in investment transactions with the school district. Do I have a motion? I'm going to start over there. Second.
Second.
Second, Ms. Owen. Any questions? And these 3 will be done.
I'm sorry?
These 3 will be done. Is that what it is?
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Unanimous? Item D.
Trustees, at this point, I'd like to discuss and take possible action on changes to CDA local by resolution concerning the investment policy
tweak it, how we can change it. Excuse me. You're also required to either resolve that you're not changing it, or do a resolution that you are changing it. So if you'll turn to page 90, 91, and 92, and 93, that's our current CDA local. I highlighted what I've added. So currently, we cannot exceed, I'm on the fourth paragraph on page 91 in yellow, we cannot exceed 1 year. Our interest rates right now are starting to plummet. I don't know if y'all know that. So in order for us to take our $5 to $8 million, we might want to ladder that out 2 years. We can't right now because we're locked into 1 year. So I can make a little bit more money by going 2 and 3 years if y'all allow me up to 4 years. We're never going to, hopefully, fall below $5 million. We need that as our fund balance, so it makes sense to push that out a little bit and earn a little bit more interest. So I'm asking that instead of 1 year, be allowed to go up to 4 years on each purchase. And then I've just added another section. Assets of the district shall be invested by matching the maturity of the investment instrument selected as it corresponds to the cash flow requirements, which is also required in the Public Funds Investment Act, of the particular fund for which they invested. Such investments shall be subject to any legal limits. The strategy shall maintain a buy to hold investment philosophy that gives the district the ability to sell before the maturity if the investment interest of the preservation of portfolio integrity and capital directive. Basically what that means is we're now in our financials, we have to show it at market. So if my investment, I bought it at $2 million and market goes down to $1.9 million, we usually hold it till maturity. But I'm going to now show that as market. So if it is starting to decline, we may want to go ahead and sell it off. I hold everything because it's going to still be worth $2 million when it matures. It just may, the market does this, but when it matures, it's going to be worth $2 million. So that's why you buy to hold it to maturity. And those are the only changes.
Okay, so trustees, what I'm asking you is to take possible action on changes to CDA local, resolution concerning investment policy and investment strategy review.
By resolution.
Excuse me?
By resolution.
By resolution. By resolution.
There's recommendation was that we take action on changes to CDA local by resolution concerning the investment policy and investment strategy review. Do I have a motion? Second. Second. Any questions?
Go ahead.
My question is, when you change the from 1 to 4 years, I think, heaven forbid this, but if we were to need the $1 million, I know that we can't go for $1 million, but if we have to, we will still be able to.
Yes, ma'am. And because the rates are going down, I'm going to sell it at a higher, more than what we bought it for, because if the rates go down, it's more valuable. So if we needed the money, I would sell it at a gain for the district.
We're making a change to a local policy. Do we need to get John Bill's input, advice?
It will go to TASB. As soon as y'all approve this, it goes to TASB for review, and their attorneys review it. We can send it to John Bell.
No, I just didn't know, because this is the first time I've seen a change to a local policy since I've been on the board.
TASB has attorneys, they review it. If they had any issue, they won't with this, because this is a standard CDA local policy.
Any other questions? If not, those in favor say aye. Those opposed? Unanimous?
And letter E, discuss and take.
Do we have to read the resolution?
Oh, thank you, sir. Do we need to read the resolution?
Long.
I think
Thank you, sir. Discuss and take possible action on authorizing the superintendent to execute summer projects on school facilities. So trustees, at this point in your discussion, again, it's probably have you go back to this particular list. And it's just, you know, it's the proximity time when we're meeting. There's some ones, again, assuming nothing that we have to get done. Now, trustees, also, one way they can be looked at. If you tell me, Dr. Campbell, you know, we want to review number 1, number 5, number 10, and if you were to tell me not to exceed a certain amount, then I stay within that threshold as far as the amount itself. So once I get a sense of which one you want, I'm going to Ms. Collins do some quick math, and at that point you'll get some direction as far as one can that you want me to prioritize in the planning. Some we need pretty quickly, some we can take a little bit more time in the summer to still get done during the summer. But I just need to hear from you as far as what you would agree for me to start moving on. The for the equipment and everything, but not the preparation of the class. I recommend number 1 is a priority, it's a top priority that we have to get done, and that's the size of the that particular one. The chiller, number 5, that's another one that we have to get done. Number 1 is roughly $50,000. The chiller is I put it up to 80,000. Again, trust these things, I put up just a little bit of cushion. And then number 10, the high school cafe gas line. That one is 22,580. As the state trustee, if you even said 25,000, just to stay within. Then those are some now. If you want me to research like number 3 and get a definite final on phase 1 and phase 2 of Southside, we have to do something about that parking lot, especially the right hand side. We can get away with that left right now, prioritize the right side of it. We need to do something there for sure. So that right now is roughly about $85,000, not to exceed $85,000.
So for number 3, you're just recommending that it be solid.
So if you give me just a little threshold, then I'll stay within a certain range. So what's happened, and this is just an example. So if you're telling me not to exceed $95,000, that's up to you, then it stays within the ballpark of that particular area. Is there one all the evidence? Without going into fund balance. So fund balance, we would definitely now. The only thing right now that we have in our favor so far is that because of what Ms. Conway explained earlier, we're going to have enough, and please correct my terminology, but enough revenue coming back to us right now and recapture monies. That's a little bit $700,000, correct? For the roof, correct.
Every $500,000 you draw fund down, it's going to cost you twice on your first report. That's, I got to tell you. 7.2.
Now, do we look at what FEMA is going to
We don't know yet. Whenever they give us a final number, then we will be an offset. No.
I'm sorry.
That FEMA percentage, they only would.
Oh, they will pay 90%. So far, they're not paying this. They've already paid us $40,000. That's what, sorry. This all comes from my head, but right? I believe they said they're going to give us $45,000 for all those roofs, or 2 roofs, Ortiz and Seal. So we can't
to, if it comes to trial, that we prioritize, that would be the next one, so we can start working in there. But for sure, instrumentation, it has to get done. The chiller has to get done. And number 10 has to get done. Now, you see right there, like in the ag corner area, that 15,000, I believe we already had, that we can still work on that, so that's something we still have. The 8,000, we'll find some money to do that. But the big ticket items are number 10, number 5, number 1, and if you need further direction, number 12, all limit of the cities. I can look at that, get a tight number on that one as well. Number 12, that's personal issue. Yes. Back portion. Yeah, let's get some. You said we're checking for asbestos?
Yes, sir, there's no asbestos in the building. It's made out of wood and concrete.
So, if you want to look for 12, definitely look for 12. To start the process of those areas. So, 1, 5, 10, number 12, like I said, I think what we have right now. And if you give me a little bit of further range, let me see how much phase one of the parking lot. And then, the northeast, and I agree with what happened in the northeast, so we that would be our For sure, again, the needs of our parents don't have the ability. I'm gonna recommend now that any activity with about 25,000 square foot, at least one side by side. And if I progress to a better deal, I'll go with another. Right now, we're still by the stadium. Well, right now, it's working just because of the space. If we start over there, we have to make sure that we have the right surface. It's works. We like to get it back. Right up is see all the high fence. That is the cause that on that. If we prioritize the first phase of these capital repairs, get it out. Oh, yeah, this first phase is. And again, we will be very thoughtful as far as the bigger amounts. So because the little ones that will. Now, yes, sir.
Number one, if we do number two, we don't have to do number one. Because it's all included.
But I used it from 180 originally. I split it. So the 50 is 180 total. So then you probably almost 50,000. Sorry, it's and that would have a fun time. So okay, that's going to be possible as far as we take a little realize. Okay. Trustee, at this point, I'd like to just take possible action request for teachers to travel out of state to Utah to discuss the grant project from Waterford. The state would like to share just a little bit. This is actually that permission to travel. And on this, that's all.
Waterford curriculum is originally purchased
Like